Hi, I'm Hanno, product team coach, and in this short video I would like to discuss what is happening to product teams. So as you know, AI is taking over in product teams. I don't really have a crystal ball, but I think I can give you my view about what's going to happen to product teams in the future. So my prediction is that we are moving to smaller product teams. As many of you remember, we had this ideal model of a product team being a two-pizza team. So basically that means that we have something like 10 to 12 people maximum in a team to keep our communication paths limited. So in these two pizza teams, you would have several roles, from a scrum master, from a business analyst to a software developer, tester, product manager or product owner, whichever your composition of the team was. In the AI era, that number of people in a team may have become a little bit too much. So my prediction is that, and I guess it's already happening today, that we will have much smaller teams in the future. AI has taken the time from the coding or testing away from the developers, and we in a team must be much more nimble, or if you would like to call it, much more agile than these two pizza teams were. So I think we have to be able to make faster decisions, discuss the changing of direction much more often, even though you have daily meetings in these two pizza teams. There's no need to lock yourself into the 2-week window where you have discussed everything that you need to do in these 2 weeks, like in Scrum, for instance. But the situation now has changed so that maybe it's better to have smaller teams where you can run experiments much more often. You can create prototypes for customers much more often. And because AI is accelerating this process that much, I don't think there's a need for a huge number of people anymore in the team. So that's what's happening. You are going to work in a smaller team. Maybe 3 or 4 people might be the new norm in the future. I know that many teams are bigger than that nowadays, but probably they haven't been utilizing AI that much in the development process. And the one thing that I'm wondering right now is that what happens to the team roles? So my next question is, what kind of roles do we need in this new setup of smaller product teams? If you go to the product operating model, which is made known by Marty Kagan, he explains that in the product operating model, the team should have a product manager, product designer, and the engineers. That's all the roles that are needed. And I guess that's becoming closer to the truth. I believe we don't in the future necessarily need a role for a scrum master or team leader who is actively involved in the team life. Teams can be much more independent in a way that they operate with customers. But I think that's also a question what the company culture really is. Big enterprises are probably not changing the structure that often. They don't want to give independent teams to work directly with customers. That's not their operating model. But unlike these sales-driven organizations, there's a huge need to accelerate the product releases more often to customers. And I think that's something that we are going to see in the future much more often. Big enterprises will probably be slower in that transition, but they may face that the nimble competitors will take over who have this very flexible and agile, if you will, operating model. How are the big enterprises, how the teams in the big enterprises will change because of AI? Because what we have seen today is that there were some layoffs from these big five American technology companies, and the layoffs will probably continue for a while. But then what is happening to these big enterprises is still an open book in my calculations. So their ways of working will transform, but eventually they will transform. It may take a few years even. But I think that's going to happen to them as well. So they would need to change the way they operate in the future because of these nimble competitors will come with smaller teams, release prototypes, make experiments much more fluently, much more often than the big enterprises are able to. So I think that's the second transition that we are going to see. The roles in the team, in the smaller team, something like maximum of 5 people, they will have a bigger role in communicating with the customer, making these prototypes to them, trying to find a good solution for the customer's problems. And that nimble way of working may be the winning combination. Having these product managers deciding what to build, then having the product designers taking care of the usability of the product, and then you have the technical engineers who are making sure that we are able to build the product that the customers want. 3 roles, that's my guess today. They will prevail, but some other roles will maybe be in less demand. And if you are the software developer working on these newer set of teams, in a small team, the way of making code, just knowing the syntax and typing it in, it's probably going to be close to zero in the very near future. And I think developers need to develop themselves from this syntax level expertise to higher capabilities, having new skills, how to work with customers, how to ask good questions to solve customer problems, not just taking in orders coming from sales or someone else. Maybe question the choices that we are making. And that happens only if they are able to become more domain aware, become experts in the domain, and knowing their customers as well to be able to create these technically feasible solutions that customers demand. I know that the transitions are ongoing already in big enterprises where I'm kind of working most of my time as a consultant. I believe the change there is slower. Some teams have all just now thinking about this, okay, how we are going to organize ourselves in the future. What is the goal of the organization? What is the goal of the product or the product line that we are developing? How do we meet customer needs in the best possible way? I think that is something that many bigger organizations are now thinking about. We will see more transitions. Maybe we see more layoffs, who knows? But on the other hand, there's a need to hire people that know how to use AI, how to leverage their skills in a way that benefits the organization and benefits the customers. And because customers are not buying just AI, they are buying solutions that work for them, that meet their needs, are cost effective, and have this impact that they are seeking when they use the product. Becoming aware of these parameters, if you will, then you are making your career in a much better position. Not just knowing the technical things. Of course, that's still important that you know how systems work, but you need to kind of lift your abstraction layer, particularly if you are a software developer or tester. You need to lift your capabilities to understand the domain and being aware of customers' wants and needs. Okay, that's my short-term prediction, what's going to happen for product teams. Maybe this is already starting in some places. I guess if you are working in a technology company, then you are much ahead. But if you are working in a much more traditional organization, the transition to AI have just started, and people are using AI to boost their own capabilities mostly. I believe having this cost-effective mindset is not the way that you create good position in a marketplace for your product team and your products. So I believe that's something that we are going to see more happening, that companies need to think how to leverage AI to build better products, not just making the act of making products more cost effective, cut costs, cut labor cost, and so forth. So there are some few examples already from companies who are doing this, like IKEA. They introduced a chatbot that was able to handle something like 50% of the customer calls, and humans are taking care of the rest. But the remaining people transitioned to a new role that is now generating a new type of revenue for the whole company. Becoming to that position, that will take time, but anyway, I guess we should see examples which are more encouraging than just laying off people and cut costs and labor costs in particular, but we need to augment AI to build better products, and we need to have product teams that understand more what these customer needs are like, what the customers want, and are able to work in that new type of environment that AI enables actually. Okay, let's see how it goes. These were these kind of three predictions that I had: smaller teams, changing roles, and how to leverage new skills, how to acquire new skills. That's not something that comes easily, especially if you have branded yourself as a technical expert. You need to be moving to these other levels of understanding the customer needs and making solutions that actually fill those needs. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.